I think that worse than not really knowing what your destiny in life is to believe so strongly that you do have a destiny, and that destiny that you believe in is so critically dangerous to everybody around you, the rest of the world, you know, and so many people could lose their lives over it. You know, I think that that's probably worse than not knowing, is being wrong. Joe Viper sort of began as my answer to the classic horror villains that I had grown up with in the 80s.
Busted, huh? And if there's anything I hate, it's a daggone pole gunner!
Jason Voorhees, Fred Krueger, those guys. And I really wanted to create a character that was iconic in his stature, just like those characters.
Hey, want a screw? Kill me! I kill you.
The hammer was, Jason had his machete, and Freddy had his glove. Michael Myers had his knife, and so Joe Viper had to have something unique that was all his own, and I chose a sledgehammer, more specifically a blacksmith sledgehammer. Sort of funny how I found it, and it ended up being his weapon of choice. It was actually a leftover tool that was in my father's tool box, and so that very hammer up through the original Thrasher Be Thrashed, as well as the original Sting of the Viper in 1998, and then all through the new trilogy. So we finished the movie, and for years I'd had in mind a sequel that involved these two kids going to a sewer just for no particularly good reason, and Joe Viper's body, where the cops had dumped it, was still in there.
This has to be the place.
And he came to life.
More, can we leave now?
Took the girl hostage, and years later, exactly 10 years later as a matter of fact, in 1998, that became the premise for the original Sting of the Viper. It was brave of us to, I guess, try to mix live CG with or CG with live action, but you know, as the Demon Dog proved, it just simply did not work. And the story, again, was very cold and didn't have a lot of personality to it. And this was when I was first starting to take note of those sorts of things as a filmmaker. And I pretty much wrote the storyline off. Kind of got laid over in Indianapolis, Indiana one weekend, and was stuck in a motel room. And I remember having a pad and just writing this script that involved Joe Viper. But I thought, you know, I mean, I already know the backstory and all that. I mean, I want to see what this man's life was like. And the anger that I was feeling at that time in my life, I just poured into the script, and it just really came to life. Will Carpenter became sort of the emotional direction of the story with regard to his wife Gloria, because we'd really set that up good with part 2, where Joe Viper, or excuse me, with the original Sting of the Viper in '98, where Joe Viper had killed Gloria.
I'm such a pretty man.
We didn't really touch on it, so it seemed like a good opportunity to actually show that event, and not only that, but show what Joe Viper had did to the community, leading up to what he ended up ultimately doing. Joe Viper of course, his goal is to take over hell. And that all sort of started in the original Sting of the Viper from 1998.
Have you ever seen the devil well? Well, I've met him. And he wasn't too happy to discover I wanted to take his job.
But I thought, wow, what a premise, you know. We've seen lots of stories where the devil or demons or something of that nature is always the main culprit or threat or the main problem that must be overcome. But what about a scenario where those entities are now the ones in danger?
See, I will rule hell. I will throw Satan to the walls and take his kingdom from him.
And in destroying them would thereby destroy us in our reality. And so that sort of became the premise of the trilogy in general, leading up to redemption.
Joe Viper has crossed over. He's no longer flesh, but he's a demon of his own making.
I like to think that in redemption, we kind of bring everything full circle. All things are set right, depending on whose perspective you're looking at it through. So, in the meantime, enjoy redemption.